IONS, Institute of Noetic Sciences, has now a great challenge for science and what is about. They will give $100,000 to someone who will prove that consciousness is non-material. This is a very good offer because the fact is that consciousness is non-material. But now we have to prove that. Now, uh, exists the science which we have today is in the frame of the formula E energy is mc squared. Okay, so science is saying whatever is existing can be matter or can be energy. Everything else is non-existent. Definitely that the entire humanity is suffering a lot because of this reductionist materialistic approach. And definitely we have to prove that non-material consciousness exists. So how we will prove this? If something is non-material, it cannot create something that is material. And something that is material cannot create something that is non-material, okay? So consciousness, if it's non-material, can create only something that is non-material. How we will prove this? You see, I have here material object. I am moving this material object from here to here and back. I am moving it, okay? What you can perceive as a scientist, a rigorous scientist, you can perceive only what? Motion. Where? You can perceive motion in space, and you also experience motion in space. So there is no time here. The idea that this is now moving in space-time is wrong. This is 100 years of misunderstanding. This is moving only in space. Universal space is time invariant. So now, give me a second. Now I take a clock, okay, and I am moving this, and I'm comparing this with the movement of the clock. So what? This is measurement. So what I can see? Okay, motion from one side to other side is 2 seconds. So now we have time, we have duration. But before, when there was no measurement, there was no time, there was no duration. And who is doing all this? Who is observing this? The observer. The observer is consciousness itself. Okay. There is the same consciousness in every human being. That's why science is objective, because the observer is the same entity in every human being, in every scientist. So when consciousness is comparing motion of the physical object with the motion of the clock, time appears, duration. So time as duration is an emergent physical reality that enters existence when is measured by the consciousness, by the observer. Without measurement, there is no time. The entire universe is utterly timeless. So, This is a proof that time is non-material. Time is not matter, time is not energy. Time is out of the frame of, of the energies mc squared of this formula. Time is out of this frame. Time is made by humans. Time entered existence when consciousness is comparing motion of a clock with the motion of a physical object. This is proof that consciousness is non-material, because time is non-material, and something that is non-material can only be created by something that is non-material. This is the first aspect of this consciousness is non-material, experimental aspect. But we have also another experiment here that is not direct, but it is indirect. The presence of consciousness in living organism and subtle energies is increasing weight. I measured this 35 years ago. When a living organism is on the balance in the mass closed system, the mass closed system will have a certain weight. The gravity works on this mass closed system. When the organism in this mass closed system will die, what happened? What is the difference between living matter and dead matter? In living matter, we have subtle energies and consciousness. And at the time of death, these subtle energies and consciousness are somehow dissolving out of the living organism. And this is causing that the weight is getting less. Yeah, you can read article attached about this, but as I say, this is indirect proof, because this is a proof in the frame of energies mc squared. Yeah. And it's proving that actually subtle energies are not entering this frame, but subtle energies are changing gravity, because also gravity is out of the frame energies mc squared, because gravity is the result of the variable energy density of superfluid space. Okay. And superfluid space is a type of energy that does not enter directly energies mc squared. It is true that actually light photon is excitation of this superfluid quantum space, is the excitation of the fourth dimension. In this sense, gravity entered this, let's say, this formula A energy is mc squared, but only in this sense. But gravity is not energy in the sense as it is proposed that that there are some gravitons existing as a type of energy that is moving between two objects. That's false. So we have more subtle layers of this superfluid space, which are what we call subtle energies. And the presence of these subtle energies in the living organism is increasing weight. The top subtle energy is consciousness. Consciousness can be defined as a excitation of this superfluid quantum space on the n-dimensional level. This is a photon in the n-dimensional level of superfluid space that has infinite frequency. But this is only a mathematical description that has nothing to do with what consciousness really is. Because consciousness is non-material and we cannot grasp consciousness directly with the tools of today's science. And this will be forever like this. But as I say, we can prove directly that consciousness is non-material because consciousness, when using clocks, is creating time, and time is non-material. So I wish I wish good time, IONS scientists, and thank you very much that you give this prize, because we have to understand really that consciousness is non-material, but this does not mean that consciousness cannot enter in the frame of science. We have to integrate this, and I'm sure that your prize will help scientific community to understand that also non-material things can be integrated into science. Thank you very much.